David Cooke with By the Brook. Today we're going to look at some verses from the book of Genesis, the very first book of the Bible, the book of beginnings. An important book that really outlines God's entire playbook for humanity and for his creation. The verses we're going to look at are in chapter 9, verses 1 through 6. And just to give you some background in terms of historical chronology, these verses are set right after the global flood. And Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives have stepped off the ark. They've gone through that flood in the safety of the ark as God has rescued them and saved them. And now, as they step foot on a new world, as it were, this planet Earth's second chance, they are given these words of blessing and also warning. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely, for your lifeblood, I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God he made man." This is a very fundamental law. It's stated right in the beginning, because this is a law that transcends all the ages and is meant to be there from beginning until the end of time, that whoever sheds man's blood, his blood shall be shed. Justice demands it. No one is allowed to kill another human being. No one is exempt from this. And it points ahead to the 6th commandment, which we are given under the hand of Moses later on in the book of Exodus, which says, "You shall not murder." The fact of the matter is, no one has the right or authority to take the life of another human being. Not only because it's, robbing someone of their life, so of course it is a sin against that person. But more than that, every person was created in the image of God, in God's likeness. God is our maker. And so to take the life of another human being is to really rob God of something that he made, something that belongs to him. And no one has that right. Even if you're dealing with a case of, let's say, someone who is suffering, there is no real autonomy in terms of you having some sense of ownership over your life and you being able to say, "I would like my life forfeit so I don't have to go through this time of suffering or this time of depression, this time of anguish. I would like someone to take my life." That is not an option, because only God himself has the right to give and to take our lives. It's kind of like a carpenter. I do a little bit of carpentry. I have a fun tinkering around. I build some shelves and some furniture from time to time, and I'm the one who made it. And if I want to, I can destroy it. That's up to me. I can make it. I can have it in a certain room of my house. I can use it for a certain purpose. And if I want to, I can also scrap it. That is my right. The furniture doesn't have that right to scrap itself. Not that it could. But that's the way we are. And it brings to mind some verses from the book of Psalms, Psalm 100. And in Psalm 100, we read these words: "Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." We belong to God. And he has a purpose and a plan for us. And sometimes it may be a bit hazy as to what that is. But we need to trust him and recognize his lordship, his ownership over our lives. Here in Canada, we have seen the rise and expansion of a deadly euthanasia regime that goes by the name of MAID, Medical Assistance in Dying. It's really murder. It is the government saying that people who consent because they feel they are suffering or they feel they are going through some hardship, if they consent and if there is some sort of disability or serious sickness, then they can be killed. Another human can shed their blood, can inject them with a lethal injection, and they'll die. And we see just in 6 years how this program has expanded and how thousands have been killed and have been made to believe the lie that they are autonomous over their lives, which they are not. And how this great sin against themselves and against their fellow man and against God has only grown. And the blood that has been shed is crying out to heaven. I recently wrote a short book on the euthanasia program in Canada. It's called Trudeau's Maid Service, a euthanasia program for Canada. And it refers to Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister who brought in this program. It's just a short read, but it outlines what is happening here in our country, and it gives some great arguments to counteract the lies about legal euthanasia. So I hope that you'll consider giving it a read and sharing it with others. Perhaps share it with your doctor, your pharmacist, your dentist, your optometrist, and get the word out. We want to see respect for life, respect for human life, and compassion for human life restored. And that's only going to happen when we come back, we turn back to God and his perfect law for our country and our world. Anyhow, I hope you have a blessed day. God bless you.